Hey, this is Tyler, Renegade GK. So one of the questions I get all the time out in the field as a director of goalkeeping is what cut should I purchase for my player, or as a player, what cut should I be wearing? And honestly, there's no right or wrong answer to that, but you need to understand when you buy a pair of gloves exactly what cut you're going to purchase and why potentially that's a good or a bad thing, or more importantly, how that's going to impact how it feels on your hands. So first we have kind of the most globally traditional and probably most popular glove, which is the RollFinger glove. The RollFinger glove, we do offer 3 RollFinger gloves, and we'll show those a little bit later on. But the RollFinger glove is popular because of the way the latex rolls around the fingers. So you're going to see here in between the fingers, you do have literally a roll of the latex. Why is that positive? Well, the positive is it's more surface area for the ball, technically speaking, to make contact with your fingers. So that's a RollFinger glove, definitely one of the most popular glove styles out there. Then I would say maybe not necessarily less popular, but just very different is a negative cut glove. So negative cut gloves, just to be very clear, are always going to be a lot tighter on your fingers. This is definitely something that I hear all the time is, well, why do I wear a size 8 in a RollFinger, but it seems like when I put a size 8 in a negative cut glove, it's just tighter? Well, that's the difference in the cut. So just know when you're purchasing, if you've never worn a negative cut glove, you need to be very careful with the sizing and just pay very close attention to it. But more than anything, you probably don't need a different size. It's more that the experience with the glove is just going to change. Right? So you'll see with the negative cut glove, there is some ventilation in between the fingers. It's definitely tighter on the fingers as we progress through, but you do have a little bit more flexion, and keepers that wear this cut, they tend to like to feel the ball, at least that's how they refer to it as, have more feel on the ball, and that just happens to do with the way the seams are sewn in here, as you see with the latex of the glove. All right, so that's a negative cut. And then what's come along lately in gloves is called a hybrid. So the hybrid cut is truly a blend between the RollFinger and a negative cut glove. You're going to have on your 2 middle fingers, you're going to have what is the negative style, and then on the outer 2 fingers, you've got that RollFinger. So it blends really very well both of those cuts. Definitely becoming what I would say is probably one of the more popular cuts out there. Keepers that traditionally have worn a RollFinger glove now seem to be transitioning over to this hybrid between the two. Why is that? Again, that just comes to preference, but I've heard from a lot of keepers, they say that they like the way the fingers can move a little bit better with the lack of latex from what is a traditional roll here. So this is the negative, and then you've got the roll. So that is a hybrid cut glove. Definitely pretty popular. And I don't think if you ever wore a roll and you wanted to try a new glove, this hybrid glove would be the way to go for sure. And then you go back kind of old school, but the history of where gloves came from, they came from the flat. It's still a very popular style of glove. Pros are still wearing this particular style. It's just a preference. You're going to get a lot more ventilation in the glove to the fact that there is the ventilation you'll see in the mesh that's sewn in the fingers here. All right. It's also a looser cut, traditionally speaking, so you're going to get a little bit more movement in the fingers. If you're used to wearing a roll, negative, or a hybrid, and you put on a pair of flat cut gloves, you're going to get the feeling that this glove is a little bit larger. In reality, it's not. It's just the way it's sewn together. So that box cut, that's traditionally the box cut. Lots of ventilation, but also you're going to get a little bit more movement. You're going to lose a little bit of the feel of the ball, but again, that just comes down to preference. What's your style? All right. And then last, on the Renegade gloves, we've kind of taken the traditional flat cut glove and we've embossed it, and it's what's called a flat Gecko. So the flat Gecko has these embossing marks in here that you're going to see that really offer a much better opportunity for your hand to flex forward. All right, basically the creases are the natural crease of your hand. So in a natural catching position, your hand is going to flex forward a little bit better. So you still have that traditional box cut, as you see, all right, with the flat cut glove, ventilation in between the fingers, but you're going to have a lot more movement forward. Definitely one of the more popular styles out there nowadays. It's pretty current. But again, if you're used to that tight feel of a roll or a negative or a hybrid, just be aware that when you purchase a flat Gecko cut glove or a flat glove, you're going to feel a little bit more room and space in the glove. All right? So just quickly to recap, just so you can kind of see what we've got going on. So with RollFinger gloves, we do offer 3 RollFinger gloves. All right. So these 3 RollFingers, we've got the Fury and the Sub-Z, the Talon and the Cyclone 2, and then the Vulcan Abyss. All these RollFinger gloves, really great options out there for you keepers looking for a RollFinger. For the negatives, we've got negative cuts here. We've got the Talon Ignite, and then we've also got the Talon Revolt. Both negative cuts, going to feel a little bit tighter, don't forget that. And then to the hybrids, one of the, for sure, I would say more popular gloves as far as today is concerned. You've got one in the Vulcan, or 2 in the Vulcan, and then 1 in the Fury series here. All right. Then we go on to the flat cut. A little bit more room, a little bit more mobility, but just understand, again, it's not going to feel as tight on the fingers, so it's just a different style, a different preference. You got 1 in the Vulcan series, 1 in the Talon, and then last, but certainly not least, you've got the Fury Volt, which is that flat Gecko. Again, more flexion forward, a little bit more room in the glove, just a difference in the style preference. We hope this has kind of answered the question for you. We have a lot of options, which is great, but it's really important that you understand what you're getting into in a new pair of your Renegade gloves, especially if you're going to select a different cut. Thanks so much.